conversating. He say I'm happy you call, what you been up to lately. I said the reason.
3 things I wish I would have known before I got into my career. All right, so the first thing I wish I would have known, and look, I want to tell you guys, this doesn't have to do with just plumbing. This is any career. I think these 3 tips, these 3 things will actually help anybody on the journey of their career. The first thing I wish I would have known, I wish I would have planned my destination. All right, so I was so excited about getting into the trade that I just wanted to get in. I didn't think about the whole thing through, like once I journey out, what am I gonna do? Where am I gonna live? These things are so important. Nowadays, when it comes to like things like that, there are so many people out there with different channels. My favorite one in particular is Jordan Peterson. I'm gonna actually play a clip for you guys. Check this out.
If you don't know what you're doing, you don't know where you are, and you don't know where you're going. And if you're in a place where you don't know where you are or where you're going, you're in danger, because that's unmapped territory, and God only knows what lurks in unmapped territory.
All right, so that right there reminds me of kind of like where I ended up. I didn't know where I wanted to be in plumbing. Like I said, I just wanted to jump into it, and I just wanted to start making money, right? So I never really thought about like the whole destination, planning it all the way through. And even though there is no such thing as like planning out your whole life until the day that you die, but just at least enough to like know that you should have a plan and know where you're going, in the sense of, you know, just have goals and continue to have goals and strive for things. Once I journeyed out, I was just kind of like, all right, cool. And I thought things were just gonna happen, right? And things don't just happen. And it really hit me hard, like, man, what am I really doing? I had to question myself a lot. You know, I was looking out here, watching other people live their lives and do things that I thought were cool to do. You know, what else can I do? I've already conquered that. Now, what else should I be doing? It kind of sucks when you think about it, you know, after everything's said and done, because then you're kind of just trying to figure everything out, right? So, I mean, and they always say, if you don't plan, you plan to fail, right? So that's something that always sticks with me now, because I feel like, man, you got to know where you're going. And just like Jordan Peterson said,
you're in danger, because that's unmapped territory, and God only knows what lurks in unmapped territory.
all right, so he calls it unmapped territories, right? So, man, so that right there like makes me think of exactly why I've got lost as soon as I graduated, because I was thinking about this and watching other people live lives I thought that I should be living, or I thought I wanted to live. And that's what happens. When you don't have a plan, life will take you wherever it takes you, and you kind of just go with the feeling. That's exactly why this is one of my top things for anybody just going to start a journey or just wants to jump into a career, and especially if you're doing it just for money. And that's the reason why we jump into careers for the majority of us, is because we want to get from where we are, financially, to a better place, but we don't actually think past that. For me, I thought it was a far journey to make what I would be making in plumbing. Maybe subconsciously, that's what I was thinking. And actually, it happened like overnight. I remember starting it, and then I remember ending it, and I'm like, man, this happened quick. Even right now, start to plan your future, start to plan and have goals and have expectations and see into your future, but and also don't stress about it. You know what I mean? Just know where you're going so that no one takes you where you don't want to go. Tip number 2, learn leadership. I'm just let y'all watch a clip by one of my favorite speakers, Mr. Miles Monroe.
Damned is the people in the land when the person in charge thinks like a slave. Woe to the land when a slave becomes what? King. Let me tell you something. Putting a crown on a person's head doesn't change their mind.
All right, that is powerful to me. Over the last couple of years, I've been really looking into leadership, and man, this trade has actually brought out the worst and the best in me, and many times, right? But it led me to And I was wondering why, you know what I mean? I was going through a tough time in the trade, but then I started to wonder why. So I'm a believer, and I believe everything happens for a reason. I was led in here for me to discover myself, you know what I mean? Once I stopped looking at the circumstances and start actually looking at what God was trying to do in my life. And leadership was one of the things I've never thought about, actually being a leader. Like, I'm just a plumber. How can I be a leader? Well, there's many ways to being a leader. And I didn't realize that I was doing it while I was in the trade, but, and it's actually one of my other tips I'm gonna talk about, but I was standing for things that I believed in as I was in the trade. I was not going with the crowd. And I didn't know at the time, but as I was listening and I came across people like Miles Monroe, I start to realize that I was showing leadership abilities. I was showing leadership in my life and in my career without even knowing it. I believe every single one of us are leaders. Jesus is the King of Kings, which means he's the leader of leaders, right? So to me, man, that is so powerful, because we all think sometimes like there's these people are leaders and we were meant to be followers. We were all meant to lead. And I realize that when I see people that I feel for, that I want to help, that are going through certain things, that I wish that I could help them get past whatever they're going through. And I try my best to do that, right? That's being a leader, to teach people to go from where they are to where they want to go, right? And we can all do that. We can all do that, even in the littlest ways in our lives. Miles Monroe was saying is, you could put a crown on your head. That doesn't make you a leader. It's the way you think. I'm more than just a worker. I'm actually a partner. I can actually contribute. And by thinking that, I wanted to put so much more effort into my work. I wanted to be a part of the success. As a leader, man, you just automatically think differently. You actually take more responsibility, and you make it happen. You take risk in life when you have that leadership mentality. If I would have had that before I started, man, there's no telling where I would be right now. I mean, it's still like amazing that I'm even talking to you guys today about all this stuff, because I came a long way and I couldn't imagine like talking like this. Like, that has really empowered me and made me want to empower others. So we can't limit ourselves. We have to think of ourselves as leaders, and it gives you accountability. My third tip, let me see this. Knowing and sticking to your values. This follows right behind leadership. Sticking to your values. This is something that is overlooked. I've overlooked it. I don't ever hear people really talk about like what are their values, right? Once again, this is something that through my apprenticeship, I would always talk about stuff that I'm passionate about. I would always like encourage people and just to do better and be better and get to wherever they wanted to get to in life. And it was because of my values, right? Values are important. They say live and die by your values, because that's what makes us. When we do things outside of our values, we actually feel bad. We actually start to resent ourselves because we're acting outside of our beliefs, right? Your values are your beliefs, things that you believe in. We should take those seriously. I know I was looking up a couple people talk about values and their perspective on it. And I like the one that talks about writing down 5 of your values and actually looking to see if you're sticking by those values every single day, and looking to see, oh man, look, today I went outside my values on that. How did it make me feel? You know what I'm saying? How can I change that? Because if I could stick to these values, I'll feel good about myself. I'll feel more empowered, and I feel more like I trust myself because I'm following my own values to actually allow other people to trust me, right? There's a lot of things we want to do in life, and I promise you, we can't get there without living out our values, right? You want people to trust you. Well, you gotta have strong values that you stick by before anybody will ever trust you, right? So these are things that I did not think about. Man, these are 3 things I did not think about that would have changed the trajectory of my career path had I been thinking this, like 10 years ago, right? So I'm doing it now. So it's never too late, right? These are the 3 tips. I want you guys to really think about them, man. Look into them. I'm just one person just letting y'all know, man. I'm just a voice in the wind, letting you guys know what I heard that can change my life, that has changed my life. Like I said, it's not like I didn't do it then and I'm not doing it now. I'm doing it now, and I'm living out my dreams. I'm living out my purpose in life, and it feels great just to be in that. You know what I'm saying? And I want the same for everybody else, and that's why I'm here today, telling you guys the things that I wish I would have known back then. So I want to thank you guys for listening. This is Life in Plumbing. Like I told you guys, this can go for any career. I just hope I touch somebody out there. And if you guys are moved and touched by any of my videos, make sure y'all check out all my other videos. Make sure y'all check out my book that I wrote if you're thinking about getting into the apprenticeship and becoming a plumber. But yeah, man, if you guys got touched by any of this, leave a comment below. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. And I thank you guys for watching and supporting our page. All right, I'll see you guys in the next one.
Me
Peace.
and my God always conversating. He say I'm happy you call, what you been up to lately. He said the reason I call is time I war with Satan, and I'ma need your help to get through this. Lord, please eradicate it. Ooh, me and my God always conversating. He say I'm happy you call, what you been up to lately. He said the reason I call is time I war with Satan, and I'ma need your help to get through this. Lord, please eradicate.